when you've got grown men pretending to be women, dancing around in thongs and doing sexual stripteases on sex toy leather straps like they're strippers at a club for adults, don't tell me that's not what this is. No, I'm not gonna sit here and have you lie to my face while you sexualize children. Yesterday, we showed you I'm not exaggerating here, a drag queen stripper time sex tease show for children. Literally. I can't sensationalize this. I don't even want to show you the video, but imagine a strip club, except men pretending to be women, gyrating naked in leather gimp suits right in front of a room of children. And the event is promoted for children under 2. Now, the group had to come out and make a statement saying, oh, this is for visionary reasons. It's a sensory thing for children. Oh, yeah, it's a sensory. Like my dad used to take me to basketball games as a kid, and he'd get me a little toy basketball, and I'd play with the basketball, and I'd dribble it, and that's a sensory thing. And the crowd, and the people, and the smells, and the sights, and the sounds. Or you take your kid to a musical or an ice skating thing. Oh, that's a sensory thing, or the playground, or the park. Oh no, I'm taking little Johnny to the strip club. It's a sensory thing. I'm gonna have a man in a tutu. I'm gonna have a 300-pound hairy man in a leotard gyrate in front of my 2-year-old. It's a sensory thing. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Oh, and so you're thinking, well, this has to be it. This is the end of this, right? I mean, men in thongs doing sex tease shows for children, that's the end of this. Certainly, this is where it doesn't get much worse than this, right? Wrong-o. Now, we're finding new videos of essentially what is the same thing, but they ratchet it up. You say, well, how can they ratchet that up? Well, I guess they could, turn the lights off and crank some sexual music, and I mean really just turn it on. And they did it for children. We should probably even pull in the videos from yesterday, too. I mean, it's like, okay, we cover it, we move on, but maybe it's time we start compiling this stuff and putting it into files so we can just overwhelm the senses with this degeneracy, overwhelm the senses with this filth. So here you go. This is new video. And you're saying you covered this video yesterday. That was a separate video from a separate event. But no, we did cover the video yesterday of, I don't even know what they call it. I forget what they call it. Striptease for children, striptease for toddlers, and they market it as a sexual event for kids under 2 years old. And it's grown men in thongs and leather gimp suits that you see on the screen doing sex teases for infants with fake penises and fake breasts and the whole thing. That was yesterday. So here's the new one today. Like, you can't even properly respond and discipline what's going on from this video before the next one comes out. And so here it is, drag queen, sexy time for kids and infants. This video has just surfaced. What is that? How do you even explain that? How do you justify that? I mean, this is just utter madness. This is just utter degeneracy. This is just utter sickness. Child abuse. Now, let's just remember how we got here, shall we? Call it the slippery slope, but let's remember how we got to this point. They introduced drag queen story time for kids about 5 years ago. And it was nationwide and it was international. And at that time, they would actually take the sexual perverts, many of which had prior arrest records of child abuse, child porn, sex abuse, prostitution. We busted them in Texas. They got caught, multiple ones in Texas, reading to kids, getting access to kids, libraries, schools, you name it. They got caught. And so they kind of backed off a little bit. And then there were a bunch of protests and they canceled a lot of events. And so they kind of backed off. And now they've brought it back with increased velocity and aggression. Oh, it's just drag queen story time for kids. It's just grown men that want to dress as women and read to children. And how quickly that became drag queen sex stripper sex tease for kids. Am I not describing what you're seeing on the screen accurately here? These people want to sexualize and pervert your children. It's the American left. And what's amazing about it is they deny they're doing it and then they do it. They go, oh, we're not doing that. We're not grooming children. By the way, drag queen stripper time for kids starts at 2 in the library. See you there. We're not grooming your kids. By the way, here's a book they can read teaching them about blowjobs. Yeah. We're not grooming your kids. Visiting the children's library today at noon will be gay rainbow monkey butt. And we'll be teaching them how to use dildos. But we're not grooming your children. That all goes on, by the way. Everything I just said goes on. Here's the latest. The video is at Infowars.com. In fact, I may even have it on my list here. I've got so many of these videos. We'll play this video too. 11-year-old confronts officials by reading shocking gay porn book found in school library. It's another day, and there is another case of graphic gay pornography being found inside a school library. But this time it isn't one of the parents exposing it. Rather, one of the school children read aloud extracts of the book to shocked board officials. This doesn't exist. It's not real. And then you show it to them and they say, how dare you, you bigot? Here's the video.
Hi, my name's Knox Zajac. I'm 11 years old and I go to Wyndham Middle School. I'm a 6th grader. I was in the library and this book was on a stand. I'd like to read you a page. My back over my hips as I asked if we should take our clothes off. And he's saying yes before I finish my sentence. He's pulling off my t-shirt, laughing when I can't undo his shirt buttons. He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer for a condom. We're kissing. Again, we're rolling over. Obviously, you can see where this is going. I don't know if it's because we're feeling especially emotional or just tired, or these past couple of weeks have been too much. But this reminds me so much of the first time we had sex. We were both fucking terrified, and the whole thing was kind of terrible because we didn't know what we were doing. But it was good too, so good, because we were a mess of emotions, and we were scared and excited, and everything felt new. So this sort of feels like that. Nick touches me like he's scared that any minute. Now, this book was at my middle school, and it was on a stand. When I rented it out to show my dad it, the librarian asked if I wanted more and if I wanted a graphic novel version.
Wow.
Oh, boy. So I'm that kid's father.
Okay, good. I was asking for you.
Yeah, I'll take another 3 minutes. So that's
I'd like to know the name of the librarian that did this.
11 years old, and went to his library and found that by the entry door of our library, this is the smut that he is finding, all right? I don't care whether it's gay, straight, bisexual, whatever the terms are for all this stuff, doesn't need to be at our school. Doesn't need to be at my 11-year-old's library. And then as far as genderqueer, I've got a son in the high school as well. And this is bullshit. We know it, all right? We do not need to be having literature that's showing boys how to suck dick, all right? I'm very, very frustrated about it, okay? And you may think that schools know the best for our children. You know who know the best for our children? The parents.
How do you even rationalize this? How do you even explain this? But you know what needs to be happening is that the librarians or the teachers or whoever it is that brings the books, that brings this content into libraries and classrooms, they need to be put on stands and questioned and explain what it is that's motivating this. That's what's lacking here. So we've exposed how they show kids pornography. We've exposed how they're grooming children. We've exposed it all. Now the people doing it need to answer some questions as to why. I'd like to hear the explanation from whoever put a gay porn book in a elementary school library. I'd love to hear their reason why. Let's really get them to explain that. You need to be open-minded and tolerant of LGBTQ ideologies. You didn't answer my question. Why did you put a gay porn book in an elementary school library?